Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. In today's topic I'll be talking about this P Diddy P Zaga all the atrocity that he has been committing for decades. So they finally caught him and he is in Krikri. And this problem has been dragging a lot of our Nigerian musicians. A lot of our Nigerian musicians has been involved. So today, I want us to watch what Arise TV are interviewing the music director, Mr. Olise. Is a Nigerian musician, is a music director too. So today Arise is interviewing him. I think Ruth is interviewing him. Ruth of Arise TV is interviewing him. What has been happening? Does it mean this P Diddy Zaga? How is it connected to our Nigerian musician? Because one or two of our Nigerian musicians have been seen with this P Diddy. So a lot of people, they are dragging all these Nigerian musicians, that what the crime that P Diddy committed, they are P Diddy with this crime. So let's just listen and hear what Mr. Olise want to talk and how he's going to explain and let us understand what has been going, if this problem of P Diddy would affect our Nigerian musician. Thank you, and let us listen.
Executives with over 25 years in entertainment. A versatile entrepreneur, he is known as an MC, corporate speaker, TV radio host, actor, and music video director. Active since 1988, Olise has been pivotal in African electronic media and co-produces AFRIMA, Africa's top music awards, leaving a significant mark on the industry. So good to have you here with us, Olise.
Great to be here. It's great to be. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's so good to have you. Anyway, with the incident of the P Diddy Saga being accused of debauchery,
right,
homosexuality, sex trafficking, blah, blah, blah. How do you think these challenges affects, how do you think this affects the challenges our own musicians face in Nigeria? Do you understand? How can artists protect their reputation? Because a few of them have been linked with P Diddy and now they've been, portrayed or as also homosexuals, and some of them are saying that it's the alliance with P Diddy that got them to where they are in life, and what have you. So, how can artists protect their reputations against this backlash?
Well, I mean, the Diddy story has been around for a long time. Rumors have been circulating. Before the emergence of social and digital media, and people always speculate. With social media, the rumor mill went into overdrive and everything. So, Diddy is such a giant, a colossus in the music industry that you cannot tarnish every person who's ever had links with him, through their career. Diddy has been there for more than 30 years now.
Yeah, but this debauchery and everything has happened over decades too.
What we have now is he's going to have his day in court. There's an indictment there. It's a long one. It's 14 pages. And the indictment is to do with sex trafficking and sexual assault and all that. So I don't think anybody who's had dealings with Diddy through the music industry has anything to worry about. The only people who should be worried are those who were in his inner team.
Participants.
Yeah, those who enabled him. There's a lady, one of his former PAs, a lady called Laura, who's, it's gonna affect her and those who were maybe bodyguards or people who were pimping for him and doing such things. It's like a mirror of the Jeffrey Epstein case. Epstein is gone. Only one person has gone to jail. That's Ghislaine Maxwell, his former fixer. And even now, at that time when Epstein was still alive, there were all kinds of names being bandied around about politicians, big tech billionaires, entertainers flying on Epstein's private jet to the island and everything. So the same way, Diddy's parties were notorious, hedonistic, the freak-offs. So for the Department of Justice in America to pull up to a hotel and pick you up, that means they feel they have a tight case on you. So we have just wait and don't get caught up by the rumors and whatnot.
Yeah,
and I don't think our own people or people in the industry who've had dealings with him, you know, maybe you've done a show with him or you recorded something with him, it doesn't tarnish anybody's reputation, you know, because they are who they are. And people will always speculate about you, no matter what. That's the price you pay for fame and fortune.
Now, but now that you said that, I mean, I totally agree with you. There are some of our stars that have earned their merits in the industry, and it's unfair, especially if they're not that way inclined, for insinuations to be made that they got there because, you know, through the back door, so to speak. So how do such artists protect their own images? Can they sue these people making these accusations? Or should they just let it ride past?
I think that if someone, you know, it makes an accusation, whether it's a slander or libel, I'm going to call my lawyer. I mean, they should take them to court. Because you've been in the industry 10, 20 years, you worked hard, and you don't need anyone coming up, some idiot coming up and saying, oh, because, you might make the story get bigger, but you have to protect. Because if you don't say anything, that silence, people will say, oh,
exactly.
That person really is that way. So I think, you know, if somebody makes a very strong, you know, accusation or defames you in any way, I think the best thing, don't take the law into your own hands. Just call the lawyers and call your lawyers and get it sorted out, and really let the person feel the full brunt of it, because they wouldn't get away with that in America or Europe or you know, any other country. So why should they get away with Nigeria? So I don't think they have anything to worry about. Those who work with Diddy, those ones are. They're probably, you know, worried about what he's going to say, what you know, what the indictment will be about, and you know, because if you're going to use that to measure everybody, did he work with so many people for decades? Big names in the music industry, big name. I mean, this man had the key to the city of New York, key to Miami. I mean, this guy got a Vanguard Award from MTV. So he's too, you know, you can't use that yardstick. So I don't think anyone should be worried about that.
But what parallels do you see between the allegations against Diddy and the behavior of some music industries in Nigeria?
You know, the entertainment industry, not just music specifically, but the entertainment industry is, it's a very intoxicating sector. So, and there's a lot of temptation. Somewhere where, an industry where you have, you know, a lot of, you know, high gains and you have a lot of young people. And so there is a tendency for people to be, to get carried away with it. You know, the whole aura of being in there. And also, when you have young people tend to, there's certain things that will happen to them. Some can get influenced and get, you know, led astray. And others can get carried away by the environment they're in. And then there are people, I mean, I'm not saying everybody, you know, is a saint. There are people who are, you know, who will take advantage of you. You know, if you're not rooted, if you're not, you know, a very strong-willed person. So you need to be strong-willed. You need to understand what you're going into. And you need to be focused on, okay, this is what I want to do. This is why I came to this thing. So don't get yourself into a position whereby you're going to have to do things that you might regret.
So how do you avoid being in that position in the first place? Because I've also heard issues, rumors about cultism, about Aye fraternity, Aye fraternity, about code of silence, that even if you're abused physically, you sort of, you know, seal your lips and you take it in your stride because you're looking at the gains. So how do you avoid such exploitations?
I think the best way is to don't...
First and foremost, these exploitations, do they exist?
There are elements.
These fraternities and cultism.
I mean, we know that the fraternities in Nigeria and beyond Nigeria,
Yeah, but in the music industry, is it
Obviously,
profound?
there are some players in the music industry who probably from the days of being in university or secondary school would have joined those fraternities, and they say when you join, it's very hard to leave.
So did they try to initiate some of their artists into this?
So I think it's about choices. If you decide to go into it, you have to go into your eyes wide open. I'm not saying that.
But these are young.
So that's what the young, impressionable people. So there are people who they shouldn't go into this business without family and friends involved.
Is it just family and friends? What about lawyers?
Lawyers are crucial, but family and friends, right? The reason why I say family and friends, because lawyers are there for the money. The family and friends are the ones who love you unconditionally. Yeah, but the family is just as hungry
as you are. I mean, some of these people came from Ajikule, from very...
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of them can come from abject poverty. But what I'm saying is that you have to have people who have your back, not because of what they can get out of it, but who, if you don't make it, they're still going to love you unconditionally. So that's why I'm saying family and friends. You notice that for you to survive, you need to have a good team. I mean, those who are doing well in this industry have a great team around them. And I always say,
how did they get the great team? They didn't get it from scratch.
No, because you don't go in there alone. I always tell people, don't go and sign get a contract. Don't sign a contract until you've had a qualified lawyer go through the contract.
So that means the lawyer does play a major role.
Definitely. The lawyer, accountant, those are important. But that's for the business side. But for you as a person, to protect you, not just from the contract, but to protect you as a human being, you need to have good family and friends around you.
Okay, go on. I need to ask one question.
Yeah.
Because most of these artists start from nothing.
Right.
They have nothing. They grew up in Ajigule or Surulere or whatever. They've come from the slum, and they've now made it big. Now, at the time when they need their interests protected, they cannot afford a lawyer or accountant. The executive producer can afford this.
Right.
So how is the interest of the artist protected?
Well, that's why the musicians have a union. But a lot of
so there's a union.
There is a union. It's called P-Man.
Well, is P-Man still very effective?
It's still very active, and it's even stronger now.
So if you now meet somebody, I'm an upcoming artist. I have 1 or 2 songs. They always have tens of songs. I have 3 or 4 or 5 songs that I want to promote. And then you, as my older friend or as a friend, you listen to it and you think, oh, there's potential here, but you need to be under a record label, blah, 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 blah. So tell me how I start from the beginning to the end. As in, how do I get a lawyer that will protect my interest? How do I get the accountant that will protect my interest? How long should I be with a record label before I now know that I can exit as and when I want to?
Those are the technicalities you get in the contract, obviously. But what I'm saying is that for somebody who's coming to industry with nothing,
I use myself as an example.
That's why P-Man is there. The union is there. I mean, you can find them online.
How effective?
They're very effective. They can provide you with legal aid, legal assistance for you to lawyers that will look through your contract, check it out for you. A lot of people don't know that, but what is happening right now is younger people are joining in and finding out more about it. But like I said, no matter where you're coming from, there must be somebody, a relation, a friend who can assist you. Even if you don't know how to get to P-Man, which you can get to P-Man online, they're online. Get yourself somebody who can look at things for you, who can guide you. Both of you might not understand the business, might not know the business, but definitely for you to get started, you need to have that legal advice. You need to have lawyers and accountants involved. But what happens? You mentioned the poverty aspect of it.
Exactly. Well,
a lot of people have desperation.
Access? Yeah, but how many people have access to the kind of people who would advise them?
That's what I'm saying. So you check out the P-Man, the union, and get that assistance from them, and it's done free. Once you're a member, it's free, so you don't have to.
Can anybody become a member?
Yeah, you can be a member. If you're a musician, you can join in. Young musicians are coming through, joining in. So I mean, there's no age barrier as long as you're in the industry and practicing.
Oh, okay. But let's look at it from the producer's angle. Okay. Why is there usually this conflict between artists when they start? They're okay. Then when the artist now goes big or explodes, there's now a clash of wills. What usually causes this?
It's about being clear about what you're getting into. I'm a record label executive. I've been for a long time, so I've had issues before with artists. Most of the time, I let it go, But what happens is that you spend not just the money, but you spend a lot of your goodwill, a lot of your network, your intellectual property on a particular project with an artist. There's a lot invested in that, and you know that this person, when they came along, they had nothing, and you say, okay, fine, no problem. It's a partnership. They're bringing the talent, you're bringing the structure, the financing, and the power for promotion and marketing and distribution. But you see, what happens along the way is that some of those contracts are not proper. When I say proper, you know that along the line, if you know that there's going to be an issue. If you sign an artist and he or she is getting 5 or 10% from out of 100, when the artist blows up, there's going to be a problem down the line. He or she is going to wake up. Somebody in their family or circle of friends is going to say, listen, guy, when you sign that thing, but that one, you are nobody. Now you're a big star. You have to go and demand, or even you can walk away and go and sign with a major label. So the artists themselves have to be straightforward and true. And you're desperate. You want to get signed up. You're ready to accept anything that there is on offer. But then you know that down the line, once you get that whiff of fame, once you get a bit of success, you're going to start demanding. So it's about finding that compromise between the label and the artist. It's something that's been going on way before I was born. There have been fights between, even when I was younger, people like Prince and George Michael on the international scale had their fights with their record labels and stuff like that. Artists are always at loggerheads with the record labels. So it's about being clear in getting into the right contract. Don't go into something where you're going to regret. Don't go into a slave contract where you know that this is not what you want, but you know what? You want to just humble yourself a little bit and get in there, that once you get in there. So the real way out of it is that on the artist side, be clear as to what you want. Make sure that you don't give up too much. And then also on the side of the record label owners, they also have to be fair to the artists who are in terms of what they get back. With the contract nowadays, it's not, because there are multiple revenue streams within a contract of a record label. There's at least between 7 and 10 different revenue streams you can create, whether it's merchandising, whether it's publishing, whether it's endorsements, whether it's performance, streaming. So you have to say, okay, you know what? For this particular stream of the revenue, you take 40%, I take 60. For this one, performance, you take 60, I take 40. So both sides have to be fair.
What about when you leave a record label? What happens to the music that you had whilst you were in that record label? Who gets the royalties?
It depends on what kind of contract you sign. Once again, in some contracts, both the artist and record label co-own the material. In some cases, like we've heard the stories not just in Nigeria but around the world, especially within the Black and urban music community globally. How record labels, they've got my catalog, whatnot. Yeah. I can't get it back. I need to get my catalog back because of what they signed. There's some artists who didn't make money at all and meanwhile, if you check the streams, it's done billions over the years. Especially in the R&B and hip hop community, but a lot of them regretted because of what they signed. Yes, you can go back and say, okay, we need some fairness. This thing, we're getting this thing and whatnot. But you know what? Eventually, there's going to come a point in time when you're going to say, it's up to the record label. They can decide to give you a little slice of it or more of it. But the most important thing is that be clear and understand what you're signing and what you're going into.
I understand when you say that, but you have to. I keep trying to reiterate. I don't want to keep repeating myself. Yeah. Is that be clear, be about what you want. These people are young, up and coming. Most of them are not even probably that even literate.
Right.
Do you understand? They're surrounded around poverty. they don't have access to a lawyer or an accountant or even somebody that is knowledgeable enough to advise them on what to do. So that's why I'm saying that at the end of the day, they are coming from a weaker point to a certain extent. I mean, we can't use one or two of them who grew up with wealth, whose parents can afford to invest so much in the business.
There are instances when a label will take advantage of you.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Someone like P-Man or
the union,
a union like P-Man should be, if I'm to hear you correctly, should be who these young up-and-coming artists to go to that can protect their interest. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, another thing I want to ask you is that now an upcoming artist, for an upcoming artist who has huge potential, what would you advise him in terms of years to give to any record label when it comes to signing contracts? Should he do 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but at least give enough time to walk away if he wants to?
Okay. Without going into too much detail, I mean, the contract can be in terms of your years.
Which they can renew, but at least...
Yeah, you can renew. I mean, the option to renew.
Yeah.
So it can be, in terms of years, you can have a 1 year contract for one project. It could be a single, it could be an EP, it could be an album. Or you can have a contract for 2 years, 3 years. Or you can have a contract that says, oh, you have to deliver 3 albums or 4 albums and whatnot. So there are different variations on it, you know. But the most important thing is for you to understand what you're signing. That is very important, and that you deliver what you're supposed to deliver. And you can't say, oh, you know, I didn't know. A lot of artists would, I've seen instances artists where they want to get out of the contract and they have maybe a 4-album contract, they've done 2. Some artists will deliver the 2 albums at once to you and say, okay, here, your 2 albums, I'm gone, thank you.
Okay.
You know? Okay. So it's about what you sign and how you sign it.
Okay, I want to ask you about Illuminati rumors. You're laughing. Because there's been strong rumors linking successful artists, including Nigerian ones, to the Illuminati. So tell us, what's your take on these rumors?
You know,
I mean, you've heard about it.
For decades.
Exactly.
It's one of those urban legends where, you know, people need to find something. They need to hold on to something to justify people's success. That's the way I see it. You know, you try to figure out, why is she successful? Why is he successful? And why not that person? He must or she must be a member of some secret cult, some secret society.
No, but you see signs. I mean, what's that? What does it? There's one sign that goes like this or something. You see signs. You see the eye. You see the satanic 5-angle thing that they draw.
That's the same thing that the Freemasons.
But are you saying that it doesn't exist? Are you saying the Illuminati?
As far as I'm concerned, I've never met anybody who say they're Illuminati. You've heard stories about different artists being a member of secret religious cults from back in the day.
No, but are you saying you don't think they exist?
I cannot say it doesn't exist, but I've not experienced it. I've not seen it. You know, I've not. You know, so it's to me, it's nobody has ever brought proof that so-and-so person is a member, or that they meet at 2 a.m. in the forest.
So what does this symbol mean then? This one that they do like this?
It's Jay-Z sometimes does that one. That's the Rockefeller sign, you know?
But in the Illuminati, they have the eye, they have the right angle like that.
I think it's just coincidence, you know?
5-star angle or something that they draw.
Yeah, it's just,
so you don't believe in any of it, but you believe that cultism exists?
No, cultism does exist.
In the music industry?
It does exist in music. Definitely exists in music industry. Definitely exists in all sectors of society.
So have you heard of cases where young up-and-coming artists were forced to be initiated into this sector?
No, I've not heard of such cases.
But have you heard of homosexual abuse?
No.
You've never heard of homosexual abuse? Olisa.
But that's the truth now. Trust me, I would have been
in the music industry.
I would have been the first person to post it somewhere.
I mean, there are 1 or 2 prominent music producers who are apparently gay.
In Nigeria?
Yes, Nigeria. Okay. But I say you don't even know homosexuality. You know that you're aware that
there are people of that persuasion.
Industry. Why won't it be in the music industry?
No, that's what I'm saying to you. It's everywhere. Okay. You know, gays, lesbians, they're all there.
So you have never been aware of any artist being sexually exploited homosexually?
No.
Through homosexual activities?
Never
heard?
Never.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's always gonna be that speculation about things, about people. You know, it's part of the, like I mentioned earlier, it's part of the price you pay for being in the public eye and being in a sector that is so fast and fluid that people will always speculate about you. See, the thing about mystique is that someone doesn't see you, or they see you somewhere out there. They're trying to grab onto something. They're trying to hold on. Okay, what does he do? What does he know? And a lot of it stems from jealousy and not really knowing the people. No matter what you put out there on social media, there's always going to be people who want more or who are going to speculate about you. So you just have to grin and bear it.
So that means you don't see any correlation with what happened with P Diddy to Nigerian music industry?
No.
You see no correlation?
Not at all. The only correlation I see is what's been happening in the music industry globally, in terms of your executives leaving, the whole industry being, for want of a better word, restructured. But I think the music industry in America and Europe is going through some sort of seismic shift because they're at a crossroads. They're not sure where to go next or what to do next.
Okay.
People say, oh, because I didn't know it. Had nothing. Diddy being arrested or being indicted had nothing to do with people resigning from different labels. Okay. It was basically based on the fact that the industry has come to a point whereby the money is slowing down. The income is slowing down.
So, my beautiful people, you guys have heard what Mr. Olise has just explained. So, although a lot of things that he said in this video, some are true, while some I don't believe, because maybe he doesn't want to spill the beans. Yeah, so he have to be careful the way he talk, because of but for him saying that he has not heard about homosexual or all these artists molesting other younger artists, so I don't really believe in that. Anyway, but what I have to say that he really talk about that caught my attention was that this topic, if Nigerian musicians have they are going to, those ones that they have seen with P Diddy, if they have something or they will be implement to what Diddy, his crime. So he made a statement that yes, if they were doing those things that they accused P Diddy with, then they have to go in with him. But if they were just with P Diddy like friends doing their music things, they don't have anything to be afraid of. Yes, that I believe, because P Diddy, even though he want to confess or he want to call people that they were doing these things together, he cannot just mention people that they didn't know anything. A lot of people were with P Diddy, but they did not know. Why a lot of people they were with him and they experienced his move. They saw that his life, his doings was not straightforward, so they decided to plead. People like them, 50 Cent, a lot, even in that America, a lot came out to, they don't party, they don't want to have anything to do with P Diddy. They don't want to talk about P Diddy. For example, people like them, 50 Cent, they pleaded, they split with P Diddy. So it's like that. If a lot of all these people that they have seen with people, they have shown a lot of Nigerian artists that they have been together, people like them, Whiskey, even our Davido, Burna Boy, all those people. If there was no connection, concerning this crime, they were not doing it together, they don't even know anything, they don't have any idea, then why not? Why must they go in for what they don't know? It's impossible, you know. So talking about those Illuminati that he just mentioned, anyway, according to what Mr. Olise said, he said it's depending on your choice. Nobody can force you to do anything. Yeah, that's what I believe. And second, if you are so desperate, you want to make it today, tomorrow, you want to drive Range Rover. It's just like all these people that are into internet fraud. They want to make it today, tomorrow. They want to drive that Range Rover. They want to drive Mercedes. They want to drive. So you must be forced to do what you don't supposed to do because you are desperate. That is what you want. Nobody force you. So talking of that court or secret court or what they have, depend on their choices. If you want to join them, they have a lot of satanic cults everywhere. But you have to make up your mind. Either you join them or you don't join them. Nobody have to force you to join them. That one is true there. I really believe on that. Whatever you are doing, when you remove desperation in whatever you are doing, just let it play, just let it come by itself. You will ever remain grateful to God. Yes, that is what I believe also. So being a musician, being a actor, being a active, being whatever you are, when you want it, you want to make it tomorrow, you want to make it today, then you will fall into hole. If you don't want to make it today, we just want it to come gradually and, you know, steady, then you have to stay. Whatever you have, you take it that way, instead of you going to sow your hands into negative things. So you need to calm down and wait for your own time. So my people, the man said a lot. You guys have watched the video with me. You guys have heard what a lot, and some question he said he don't have any idea, he have not seen it. Why some question he talk about it well, even how, why is it that when they start, they will be so loyal. They want to, after a while they will say no, they start having problems. So he explained to you guys have heard why is it so. So my beautiful people, if you guys have watched this video to this time, you know, I wish you all, because even the P Diddy, all those people, he did not drag them by force. He only invited them, come to my party, I will give you this. I saw a video when it was even before they go inside the party, he would collect their handy or their mobile phone. So why must you, if I'm going to party, why must you collect my mobile phone? Why must you collect my handy? Then from there I will start to send something. Why are you collecting our mobile phone? If you will, I will say, please give me my mobile phone, I don't want to go again. You can't force me. So it's like that. When you are desperate of something, then you will fall a victim of circumstance. So my people, thank you very much. If you have watched this video to this time, what did you think about this video? Please drop your opinion in the comment section. Thank you. Please subscribe, click at the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will be the first to be notified. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.